brutal villains raking millions. Their slogan, we shall rise, it was so true. Tell John Public not to panic while them and they sidekick swimming in a pool of dollars so blue. Like meat-eating vulture, they neglect agriculture. Mega fans of phony, Mama Guy Caroni, Sweet Man Glenn and Sharma came face to face with the karma. And it was awful,
but true it to pull.
Don't need a big mouth to tell them go. Watch her and see they just follow
now.
Before we regret tomorrow, please. You're setting a bad example. Family values they trample.
Go.
It's only vice they desire.
Now.
Before the 5 years expire, like a dog with fleas
a dog on its knees.
And a bleeding gold. Now before we end in bankruptcy. Before they empty the treasury, streams turn into rivers, then into seas. It's why I'm bleeding gold now. Immediately. And don't forget your AG code. Now, please. Love to quarrel, always oral, highly immoral. They let the good doctor starve to death. Used to court him, once support him, no road to point for him. But once in power, they quickly forget. They love confrontation, so no mediation. The case by the Privy Council, but the warriors is settled. You see, you could make a fortune filling up a lagoon. The environment is boosted.
Notice people too.
Is why I want them go. With them old lies they peddling now. It's only PR they selling. They wouldn't tell me the whole truth. The man just wanted a root. Before they carve out a mountain. Before the cost we start counting. Like a dog with fleas, a dog on their knees. And I beg it go now. Always get the contract. Who profit from the kickback? Streams turn into rivers, then into seas. Is why I sing it.
Go now.
Tell Munila and Surush. It's best they seek refuge. Go now, please.
One hit at a time. The best music on the best radio. Real FM.
Jason Joseph, Big J does say, I want to fall. Me, I want to fall. I want to stand up and sing. Everything appeared so easy for the new PM in the city. I say this man is a magician with his golden pen in his hand. See me waiting for miracles, but all I get in is basket and brambles. With lawyer tactics so he could deceive, cause we so gullible and so naive. By the stroke of a pen, massive increase in salaries. They were broke, so no more money worry. By the stroke of a pen, a whole family on the breadline. A special need child, he was only 9. By the stroke of a pen, embezzlement in lotto, so you had to make Laco go. By the stroke of a pen, the bus flies in helicopter to see kayaks wet in rainwater. The pen never drink, the pen never smoke, but somehow that pen catch a stroke. I say this man can be serious, like he out to puppy show us. Running a country is no game. It's not about likes and fame. You promise sun, wind and rain. What or not, you won't promise again. And in the same breath, you're changing your mind. No paper to be signed. by the stroke of a pen. Free money in GDP, but you must be in certain category. By the stroke of a pen, Chinese houses were snatched away. 70,000 they cannot pay. By the stroke of a pen, we planting only black pepper, forget coconut, meg and banana. By the stroke of a pen, make me an ambassador to Dubai, China or Russia. What happened to the damn pen? I don't know. Maybe the ink just stopped flowing. Your promises, with your eloquence, come say that with ease. People will certainly understand. Don't fret to be a man. The country has never been had so. Use the pen, let some money go. You said we deserve a lot of money. Was that election gimmickry? By the stroke of a pen, bring me on the plane with you. Foreign minister can help you. By the stroke of a pen, kayaks running from Beryl. You shut down the houses that was cruel. By the stroke of a pen, you promised our healthcare will be the best in the hemisphere. By the stroke of a pen, but infant mortality keep hurting family. The pen never drink, the pen never smoke. Somehow the damn pen get a stroke. They say 2 days walk on a boat bridge cost 90,000. I wonder in whose hand that money gone. 200 houses each at 50 grand can never be 15 million. I wonder in whose hand.
91.5 Real FM got you covered.
Tell me candid, they too wicked, far too crooked. That is the frequent comment I hear. Too one-sided, underhanded, can't be trusted. This is the opinion, ear to ear. For their own abuses, they keep making excuses. Housing crack up over, they unleash the lawyer. Set up an inquiry just to get Kid Rowley.
But they wouldn't sue the false paper screw.
I don't need to come close to tell them go. Hurry, pack up your bundle now. Stop fooling the people. The country taking and beating. So me plea are repeating. Go. They're like a natural disaster. Now. 10 times worse than Ebola. Like a dog with fleas and tongue on their knees. And I'm begging go. Now we and I did one week. Prophesy to the country. Streams turn into rivers, then into seas. It's why I sing it. Now this is my humble petition. Another date for election. Go. Now, please. Accidental, detrimental, could be lethal. Are you willing to take that chance? Much too seedy, they too greedy, eyes too beady. Honeymoon end before the romance. We expect corruption, but now without check or interruption. That a few might stuff the pocket, but not racket by the pocket. From the constant comments, we get no recess. Before things fall apart and the riot starts. Even in chutney, I'll tell them go. Make it sooner than later. To protect the future, please. For the sake of we children and the next generation. Go. To safeguard our image. Before Griffith cause more damage. Like a dog with fleas and tongue on the knees. And I'm begging go now. They try to stick me with rich me. Go now. They have more trick than Houdini. Streams turn into rivers, then into seas. Is why I sing it. Go now. Please, Mrs. Kamala. Go now. minions, total villains, raking millions. Their slogan, we shall rise, it was so true. Tell John Public not to panic while them and they sidekick swimming in a pool of dollars so blue.
Igwe. Devon.
Yeah, good afternoon, Master Carl Igwe.
Here we go again, Igwe. Independent Talk for the 13th day of October, Sunday, 2024. So what's up with you, Devon?
Well, nothing much, just paying attention to the developments in our country. Yeah.
Developments?
Yeah, developments. Some of it very sour, but we got to pay attention because our role here is to ensure that credible and correct information is being brought to the people of this country. And we have a mandate to do that, so we will continue monitoring and ensuring that we do so.
Brian Grimes, blessed birthday to you. Enjoy, bro. Grenada still remains my constituency, and here is my parliament. I'm the people's spokesman, ably assisted by Devon, Ture, and Igwe. Blessed and protected by the Ancient of Days. My purpose here is to simply bring people the facts. And because facts has only one side, I want them to fact check me. Opinion matters not. What you do with the facts is a matter entirely for you, but I hope it would cause you to make more informed decision the next time around. And you won't get catched by the lies and be hoodwinked by this administration. I'm here to advocate for truth and for justice, even when it does not affect me personally. Justice delayed is justice denied. No matter what happens with me from here on in, I believe justice and truth will always be on my side. And history will record me on the right side, even if a dead hands will bring the news for me. I'm not here to be a flatterer to anybody or a praiser to anybody, but to bring the message of truth and facts. I'm here to advocate for those who cannot do it for themselves. And we know there's a lot of people that cannot advocate for themselves, starting with the people from Pitimatnik and CARICOM and the north of the island, Liberia, John. We're talking about the marginalized, the poor and the vulnerable, the persons who they took the 150 from, the persons who they took the jobs from, CJs, workers, faith organization workers, and a lot more persons. I'm here to bring hope to those people who are hurting by the actions of this government. Our currency here and legal tender is on vanished information, truth, and justice. Where shame is absent, anything could happen. Because they want the mayor in New York. You heard about that case?
Well, I'm not brief as to everything, but I'm picking up little bits of information about, especially where a number of his staff started resigning.
Now, the mayor in New York is being indicted for accepting tickets from a foreign country, Turkey. So that is a crime in America. What we hear in recent days, the trip by our prime minister was paid for by an individual. So where shame is absent, anything could happen.
Oh, yeah?
And that is something we must not bear in mind. What's your take on the whole issue, the whole Nigeria issue, Devon?
Well, listening and with a little bit of information that I've gathered, and so I'm sort of concerned, right? Head of state, right? I'm visiting a country, but going there on the invitation of a private business person. Right, I'm a bit concerned with that sort of protocol. If he was a guest of the state of Nigeria and had an opportunity to meet a number of other business officials and whatever, then I would have no problem. But where it's a trip that is orchestrated by that private individual, and so it raises questions. And so, when it comes to the bribery and corruption and who is being bought and all these sort of things. So Grenadians, we need to gather and get more information as to the trip itself, the reasons why, and so who paid for that, because that's it's a major concern. It's something that we need to know. We need to know if somebody, a businessman, is paying our prime minister to come to this country and visit him. So a lot of questions are being asked, and we need to get answers. It's not a nice thing, and it's being added to the number of other things that is going on in our country when it's concerning the prime minister and other cabinet ministers.
Devon, any businessman, and which the information is that he's a very astute businessman, worth $13 billion, would want an investment, would want a return on his investment. Now, what concerns me is simply the utterances of this Prime Minister. When he said, when you see the government doing strange things, find out who pays for the rally and the big fit. Because that's his words, Devon.
But he's turning out not to be, in a lot of instances, not being a liar, but talking the truth, talking his mind, because in this particular statement, he was telling us straight up, he said, look, man, you see certain things going on? Know that these are the people that was paying for our campaign and everything like that. So,
and the fact that he said that when the information surfaced that this investor or this businessman paid for the trip, I sit up in my chair, Devon, and I said, every investor or businessman wants return on their investment. The question is, Devon, what does this businessman want in return?
Especially from Grenada.
What would this Prime Minister agree to give in return?
What are the kind of investment opportunities that...
So would we continue to see strange decisions, and then we go out to ask why? But the Prime Minister said, when you see strange decision being made by the government, find out who pays for the rally and the big fit. Along with those concerns, Devon, the information is or suggests, and I using the word information suggests out of the abundance of caution, that the same office of CBI would be in this individual building. What would be the return on his investment? You see, Because you see, we don't want this Prime Minister to go and make argument in lieu of the population. And election time come and he lose, and up come this businessman saying, this man they agree to give me X, Y, and Z. Then the information suggests, and I will make it simple so the smallest child could understand. 21% of CBI approved in the second quarter is Nigerian. So every 100 approved CBI, 21 is Nigerian. And they say about 1,800 was approved.
So that's 21 by 18. Do the math.
Yeah, we just do a little math, 21
by 18. Oh, I can't put up a calculator. But
so over 300 Nigerians.
yeah.
What would be the return on the Nigerian? And I'm not showing a blanket over all Nigerian, but I'm concerned. Because when you check the index of scammers, the country Nigeria is high. I'm not saying that I'm only speaking what my concerns are. So these are the things that, and then the genesis of the trip, the genesis of the trip was to go to another country. And then, I don't know what happened on the road to Damascus. Because a lot of things just happened on the road to Damascus.
Yeah. Serious.
A lot of things just happened on the road to Damascus.
You know, what is interesting though, in the 8,000+ persons that got the green light for CBI citizenship from our government, I've yet to see a credible business person or credible project that is being initiated by any one of those persons. You know, I mean, usually one of the hallmark or one of the things that the benefits that you get from being a CBI person is getting involved in some form of investment in the particular country, and I've yet to hear of anything brought in more than we just selling those passports for, 250,000 US, 300,000 US, and that sort of thing. So it's concerning, very much so.
Questions? So when a party gets into power and they behave a certain way, and you can't understand why they're behaving, did the thought ever cross your mind to ask who funded the big rally and the big fete and the jump up? And how do you know that the decisions that seems baffling to you as a citizen may not be decisions that are made in the interest of the people?
Play that from the top again, Gates.
And the big fete that we went to and jump up. Questions? So when a party gets into power and they behave a certain way, and you can't understand why they're behaving, did the thought ever cross your mind to ask who funded the big rally and the big fete and the jump up? And how do you know that the decisions that seems baffling to you as a citizen may not be decisions that are made in the interest of the people who funded the rallies and the big fete that we went to and jump up and have a good time? If we had laws that says limited, for example, the amount of funding that any individual could give to a political party, if we had laws that said a political party had to report every cent.
So the Prime Minister here is saying the behavior baffling, so the GDBs are baffling behavior. Mm-hmm. The taking in 150 from poor people is a baffling behavior. The whole school feeding program is a baffling behavior. The whole week the people of CARICOM and Petit Martin is shooting is baffling. So we're using his suggestion. Whenever you see the government is behaving in a certain way, baffling to us. And these are some areas that is baffling. He says, just try to find out who pays for the rally and the big fete and the jump up. So we want to know if this Nigerian they pay for any rally, any jump up, any big fete, because it's concerning to the nation. And what return would this gentleman want on his investment? And they say next week or this coming week supposed to be. Let me get it in there, because I want to be straight to them, because
and there's the cloud even over that trip, because I saw reading a release from the Prime Minister's page, and so it stated that he, after the first statement was pulled down as to where he went and where he diverted, a statement was released stating that he went on that trip as Prime Minister and as head of CARICOM.
But here again, what baffles me more, Devon, and that is why I asked, and I play that clip about the investment and about the actions of government and who pays for the rally and the big fete. The Prime Minister trip to Nigeria comes days before the Investment Mitigation Agency, CBI, which administers the Citizenship by Investment program, holds its Nigeria Marketing Week from the 14th, which is tomorrow, to the 18th. Hundreds of CBI citizens are Nigerian, 21%. So listen, Devon. The chairman of the cabinet of Grenada so happens to be in a country and a town, in a faraway place, just before the marketing week of the Citizen by Investment program in that country. The chairman of the cabinet of Grenada, who determines how the CBI programs run, and who determines who he signed off on as the Minister of National Security, just happened to be in the area. So then again, when you see strange action by the government or the government officials, you ask yourself, so the question is, did that gentleman pay for any rally and big fete last election? And still, the question we must ask, is the Prime Minister and the Minister of Finance, are they CBI agents? Is the gentleman in the pit here with the Prime Minister in that country, is he a CBI agent? These are the questions the Grenadian public must understand. And I always ask the question, will the Grenadian public understand the actions and policies of this government? Yes, Devon.
No, it's ironic to see how they do some of those things. Blatant, and without any regard for accountability. Up to now, we cannot get that answer if the Prime Minister and the Minister of Finance are still CBI agents.
Ask Uncle Tilly. And what is the question must be asked? Because if you're saying 21% of CBI people is Nigerians, they are about a quarter. Mm-hmm. And ultimately, these people then become citizens of Grenada and they could vote. And the Prime Minister is the one who did only just before the week, the marketing week of the Nigerian CBI Citizens Seminar, or the marketing week.
So will he be there when
so is he there as the Prime Minister, or is he there as a CBI agent? That the question must be answered. And is the gentleman in the picture with him, is the gentleman a CBI agent, or is he there accompanying him, or is he there to do business for himself? That is the questions that must be answered, and it cannot be on a need-to-know basis, because we don't know what the people of them go want as a return on the investment, Devon.
Well, and I want to ask a question too. Is CARICOM aware of that trip in particular? Because the Prime Minister in his release and so said, as head of CARICOM, you know,
He doing like head of CARICOM is a new thing, man.
you know, using that as a rubber stamp. The Prime Minister, on the invitation of the particular businessman, is there as a Prime Minister, head of CARICOM, right? His family and other colleagues.
Well, he formally innocent, so I won't even talk about it.
No, I'm just talking about what the release says. The release says that. So we have to question a lot of things when it comes to financing. Financing of a trip like that. Accommodation, everything. You see, the Grenadian people must know. We don't want to wait to be blindsided and so when we find out about how much money they pay in the High Commissioner in Dubai. And so we need to know. It's an important factor. Right? We need to know all of that because our children in our schools can't get food.
So, the government of exclusions. And if there's two clips I want you to have on standby there for me because I want to explain to the people. One with the Attorney General, Ms. Claudette Joseph, and one with the Prime Minister where he's talking about something. Because I need you to refresh the Grenadian public minds. The government of exclusion. The recent throne speech delivered by the Governor General under the theme Unifying Our Focus Towards Vision 75 is the latest fake news flash in an attempt to hoodwink the Grenadian public into thinking that the Deacon Mitchell administration cares about the inclusion and any vision that includes the ordinary man. What is more believable is that the Prime Minister serves the interests of a few, the elite and those that are from the core of the new upper class. The utterances and actions of Deacon and his gang vastly contradicts any notion that they consider the interests of the wider citizenry. The question is, does the vision include the beggy, poor, vulnerable, and those in the lower class? According to the Prime Minister himself, this group has no place in the Parliament of Grenada and therefore they are not counted in the vision. So play that clip with the Prime Minister there for me.
But you were driving at a point, which is, you have to serve the people. If you're hungry mouth, if you beggy, you could come and be parliamentarian. All kind of people go buy you because they know you're hungry mouth.
All right.
So you see, Mr.
So just start again because I want people to hear. Because what I'm saying, I just want people to understand.
But you was driving at a point, which is, you have to serve the people. If you're hungry mouth, if you beggy, you could come and be parliamentarian.
All right, good. So what he's saying, that hungry mouth, beggy, and poor and vulnerable, and the lower class, according to him in that clip, this group has no place in Parliament, in the Parliament of Grenada, and therefore they are not counted in that vision. Does this vision embrace youth and school dropouts? The actions of the NDC government tells a very different story, commencing with the lies that were told to them during the voting season that all temporary uncontracted government workers will be made permanent and the e-money stock will be increased with better remuneration. So far, we are sure about that is the old talk. About permanent is impossible, so says Honorable Claudette Joseph, the Attorney General.
fair contract work is, whether it's taking place in the public sector or the private sector, and the need to regularize as much as we can contract workers. But let's be straight. We're going to be straight with the nation. Contract work and pension reform must go together. Because we commit to pay the retroactive pension, and we are doing so. We understand the import of the ruling of the court. But so as not to do severe damage, perhaps even irreparable damage to our economy in the long run, we must work out a pension plan going forward that's sustainable.
All right.
Because as it stands now...
So, that was just lies. What about the farmers and the promise of white potatoes, gallo, and the grain-like bucket trucks to reproduce on evenings? We are now experiencing the worst response to issues surrounding agriculture in the aftermath of Hurricane Beryl. What is on show now is a public spectacle of an inept government exhibiting inexperience, poor judgment, and downright lack of care for farmers and people in general, misunderstanding the valuable interconnectivity between a buyout agriculture sector and other facets of the economy, a buoyant agriculture sector and other facets of the economy. How does the children of our nation fit in the vision when the government is refusing to subsidize the school feeding program? After deciding to stop the $1 a day that historically assisted with the purchase of food items, instead, Deacon's cabinet has made the ambassador and his family in Dubai very comfortable to include enough money to cover tuition for the children, private schooling. As the foreign minister said, the children must learn to count. The question is, Honorable Andal, at what cost? During the throne speech, the government was commended for its swift and purposeful response to the impact of Hurricane Beryl. Well, what a thing. I guess the people of CARICOM and Pitimatnik had nothing to do with that narrative, since they are continuing to suffer the effects of the disaster. Their calls falling on deaf ear while the ministers celebrate drinking rum from the calabash. I guess he has to affirm that he is a real man after sharing a photo of his pinky with a boy on social media. An allegation comrade Deacon stays away from and is very silent on that. So until we get answers about the vision and the going forward, we take it with a pound of salt and treat it as another one of Deacon's fake prelude to his so-called best budget after getting his Nigerian groove on. We listen to what they say, but watch what they do even closer. Not too long from now, the PM will get the time to smoke ganja and reminiscing. You guys take to smoke ganja. Stay woke. Yeah, Deva.
A ganja mature already, way.
Yeah?
Yeah, Mr. C. The ganja tree mature already, boss? Yeah. Oh boy. Look, everyday decisions made by this government, right, continues to be questionable. Right? Decisions not in the interest of the Grenadian people, right? And there are no answers, right? They are bent on just doing and saying things and not account for it. And so we see what is going on in CARICOM after Beryl in particular, right? The response that the government is has been showing, neglecting the majority of things that they need to do for the people of CARICOM, and yet for all they continue to gloat about minor things that that can't make a difference in the everyday lives of the people of CARICOM and PT Martinique. And it's amazing, we continue to
Well, the teachers debacle continues to go on, Devon, and based on social media posting, apparently the teachers plan to seek out tomorrow.
Tomorrow, okay. So they have not yet received their money?
It seems not.
Okay, so that's a problem.
But my issue about it is, if they have to protest, they have to protest.
Yes.
Because they deserve the best. But to me, they're going about it in double standard. Because there was a time they're going to like mass and to buy people house, all kind of thing.
Well, yeah.
So how come, so that means, does kerosene get so expensive they can't buy kerosene to make mass and to anymore?
Yeah.
Well, if that is not their Brooks, if it gets so expensive, there are serious indictment on the government that the cost of living boss in the sky.
Well, I guess because they didn't get the money, you can't buy kerosene.
And then somebody tell me to ask, what is going on with the lab in TAM-CC?
Yes.
The children are very concerned because on the 15th of November is the deadline for KEEP.
I've got some disturbing news about the situation in TAM-CC, right? When it comes to the lab and the practical for the students and so, right? And one of the reasons, Master Clam, we have been saying that, you see, the government go ahead boasting about that tuition that the students and so don't have to pay, it's free, right? But has the government come forward and cushion that effect, because that money, part of that money has to go to be paying to get stuff, materials for these young people to do their exams and to do their practicals.
But here is Devon. Highlight of commitments from the campaign, they're from NDC. Free education up to TAM-CC. Guarantee free universal education up to the community college with a strong focus on science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Or they call it STEM. But the lab, responsible for science,
have no material,
technology, and engineering. The people are asking, what's going on? So
No
Minister of
material.
Education, tell the nation what's going on.
And
Because
why-
all you're boasting.
And while we're on that with the TAM-CC, it's not just the students that are being affected, There are teachers in TAM-CC, right, who the union have signed an agreement almost 2 years now for their salary and have not yet received their salaries. Their back pay or whatever that they retroactive. And that is concerning. Right? 1 minute the government say that they pay the administrators in TAM-CC and they are the ones to do. The next minute the teachers are saying that, look, the administrators tell them that they didn't get no money from government. What is going on? But a couple of years ago, as you say, Masanto and march all around Tantine.
Kerosene get expensive.
Teacher
Teacher Jude, kerosene too expensive to buy?
Apparently so. So, I mean, we have...
Devon, as beyond that, highlights of commitment from our campaign, they say, 1, payment of pension.
That's a lie.
NDC-led government honor the Constitution and the ruling of the High Court. But pensioners crying, they pay retroactive. But pensioners up to this time complaining that they are not being paid.
Yeah, they can't sustain.
Twice monthly salary was just a fast to make people believe they pay go double. Well, just split it in half. National minimum wage bill. Therefore, the government is the biggest violator of the minimum wage.
Yeah.
And you have ministers, or a minister in particular, who is a businessman. And who vex, I go say, because the workers coming to me. And they say 5 weeks now they don't get paid. And they're being paid $40 a day under the minimum wage.
Who's a businessman?
A businessman is a fall farm.
Oh, jeez.
The people I didn't ask them. They say, Master Carl, when you go back on the radio, ask why the fall farm in Montrose, why persons are being paid $40 and 5 weeks they're not being paid.
No wonder why the health condition in our country is at that state. Because they say charity begins at home, eh?
And they say the NDC will undertake a collaborative review of wages with the private and labor sectors to raise the minimum wage. But the government violating the minimum wage, and you have minister in the government violating the minimum wage.
No.
Who want to vex him?
No, when the government continues to grossly violate.
But how a man could go to work for 5 weeks and not get paid ever? Why you expect him to go and take my thing? Or come and break my place? What me I call?
Yeah, it's grossly disrespectful. I mean, to workers. When you have a government who claims that they're championing for the working class, right? And so not paying people the rightful salary, the money that they deserve, right, under the minimum wage agreement. What do they expect persons in the private sector, business people, to be doing? Because the businessmen out there will say, oh, the government violating it, I will continue paying my workers and them $30 and $40 a day. You understand? I mean, and that I cannot understand this group of politicians. They do not serve the interest of the people of this country, especially the lower echelon persons ladder that low. They like to climb on their backs and do them all sorts of things. Right? They're not paying salary on time. They're still paying under the minimum wage requirements as a government. And you're talking about you love your people? Doesn't make sense. Make it make sense, Master.
Construction of a modern hospital. But we still are with
2026.
We still are with
Yeah, this is groundbreaking 2026.
Implementing, fully implement the National Health Insurance Scheme, which will be established in consultation with key stakeholders. We still await construction of 500 high-quality Gradient style family houses. We still
Project
500. And we mentioned about the TAM CC and free education, but they're paying for the lab fees for TAM CC.
And that is so disgusting. And this school feeding program, Master Carl, is one of the items that is key, right, on their list. And look at how they're treating the students, the children of our school. Look at how they're treating them. For weeks now, right, the children cannot get a good meal in the school. They used to be paying the $1 and the $2 and the $3 every day, and a meal, a hot meal is guaranteed. Now, they come in and they jump and they say free everything, free this and free that, and you cannot sustain it, right? Parents have to be scrambling with the 4 and 5 children they have going to secondary school and primary school for money or to feed them to go to school when something was put in place by previous government to cushion. Imagine a school, for example, like SAS, who have over 600 students, and you collecting $2 or $3 every day from, let's say, 300 students. You guaranteed, Master Carl, collecting almost $1,000 every day from students to sustain that program, you know. So that money could be used in the local shops to make sure there is chicken and everything when the ministry cannot deliver. But you squash all of that. Progress, transformation going backwards.
Now, the Prime Minister clarified this transformation thing a long time ago.
Yeah.
He said we campaign on transformation.
But
it's restorative justice.
Restorative justice.
I don't hold him to no transformation thing.
We're in a critical situation in this country. Right? The workers are crying out.
Let's take the call, Gates.
Hello?
Yes, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Speak up, you're low.
Yeah, good afternoon to you all.
Yes, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, Mr. Carl. You know, listening to you, you had to be one of the better police officers in the force, as I learned. Yeah?
Yeah, I was not pissing the tail.
Did you rank with Church and Buagi?
I don't sure that person.
No, you maybe after them.
No, yeah, way after them.
They were police after Mr. Forsyth. Yeah, these guys are standard. So I'll tell you something. I sit here listening to this, to you all for quite some time. And I feel happy, but I feel angry, you know, with the situation that we are facing as citizens over many, many years. But let me take you back to what is happening today. We have a war now that is being fought in the Middle East between, to me, the Americans, the EU, and the Palestinian, Hamas, and Hezbollah, and Israel. That war is fought between America and Iran, technically, as I follow. And what is happening with Mr. Netanyahu with respect to the United Nations, and also the President of the United States with respect to the United Nations, not obeying laws, an organization that we are part of, yeah? Are we complicit in terms of what is happening in the Middle East between these rival parties? Why are we in the United Nations? Is the United Nations relevant? Why are we there? Right back to all the organizations within the region, all of them, including CARICOM. Why are we there paying monies to these bodies when we are not getting any result, no positive results from them? Why are we there? If we could channel this money into a productive sector, wouldn't it be better going to these meetings, sitting down and arriving at nothing at the end of the day? I'll tell you something. Running in my mind, sir, and I've been discussing this at length, do we really need a prime minister and ministers of government, or do we really need an administrator like the Commission, Public Service Commission, and staff and commerce? Could we find a way so that this little country could run progressively, productively, without prime ministers? And I'm not talking revolution here. Without prime ministers and ministers of government. Because to me, in my assessment, that I analyze and conclude, that we don't really need these people. To me, they are the hindrance in the development of the citizens. Yeah, I don't have the time to expound on everything. Coming from the private sector, working with government for some time and retiring, I have the authority to see this. And we as citizens have to be very, very serious for our future and to find a way, independently of these people, to carry ourselves. I am dead serious. Because you see, what is happening to the young people now, they're not responsible. Because what should not happen is that there should not be experience what they're experiencing now. But it was not prepared. They were not prepared for now. The parents, who is still young, were not prepared for now. Why? Because the economy did not grow. Don't tell me we're growing the economy by 5% and 2% and in some cases 1.5%. To me, that is negative growth. Yeah? That cannot take care of a small population with rising costs. Yeah? And a need for people to go forward. So we will have to find our way as citizens. Stop accepting the rhetoric from these people who said go in there to take care of us and to find a way to carry ourselves without them. If we fail to find a way, I'll tell you something, to do this, we'll be responsible for our demise, maybe in the not too distant future. I talked long enough. I wrote long enough. I made my history. I didn't travel. I never traveled to make a dime overseas. But I carry myself to be where I am today. I'm hurt. I'm fed up. And I'm sorry for the young people today because I don't see a hope in the distant future for them. I don't see it. Yes, we'll say there is some that is better than the other. But when you put everything together, they all may be guilty of having us where we are. Because, see, governing has to be to change the status quo, the economic status of the citizens, to put them in a position to battle hard time when it comes. And we're not in a position to battle hard time. And we are not responsible. I'm sorry for the youth. I'm on the ground. And I'm doing my best on the ground, spending my money. And I don't want it back. People think I'm crazy. But I don't want it back. I know what I'm doing. But I'm really, really sorry for the young people and the future. So, have a good day.
Have a blessed day.
Bless you.
That was a lot of food for thought.
Very much.
Yeah,
so.
Devon.
Yeah, well, the changes that is needed in our country, we must start with these politicians, present group of politicians, because they continue to do dummy things that are incompatible with the values of our country, and so because when you start, let's take the call. Good afternoon and welcome. Good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon, gentlemen. Good afternoon, Devon. Good afternoon, Igwe, Master Carl.
Hey, man.
Hey, sir.
How we doing? Yeah.
We do well.
Good afternoon, Will FM listeners. How we doing?
We good.
Right. Master Carl, I've been listening to you guys and listening to the dialogue on what's been happening for the last couple of weeks with our dear, beloved Prime Minister, as it is called him. Now, I sit back and I think about it. I made a contribution Friday where I asked the question, do you guys remember what happened in the independence celebration, the 50 years independence celebration, and who Dika Mitchell invited? PM Dika Mitchell. Now we are seeing the fruits of what is being bared right now. But I have a word for what is happening right now. That word is called complicit. Right? It's an adjective. For who knows the language, English language, who read books, understand what complicit means. At this point,
Well, you have a time I come and use that word on the radio here, and he had journalists who think we didn't know what complicit meaning.
But that's on them.
Yeah.
So let it go and Google it or read it up and look for a dictionary, look for a student's companion or royal reader and understand what it is. These men and ladies are complicit right now because they are highly involved in corruption in our faces. And they are doing it with no partiality, and they're just going on.
And you have church people among them, eh?
Right. And we know that. I could forgive them still. The Lord say forgive them, you know? But I mean, when you have a person in the name of our Prime Minister, Honorable Dika Mitchell, whose name was on a CBI document saying that he's an agent. You have the treasurer of the NDC, Andrea Semenad, who is a CBI agent. You have a name, Dennis Cornwall, the Minister of Finance, who is a CBI agent. You take off his name, he and Honorable Dikon, and other names appear of the NDC hierarchy, namely Mr. Nazim Bok. Now explain to me, how much more do we need to see as Grenadians to understand what is at play here? Nigeria, it's a lovely country, continent Africa is a continent, it's a lovely country. Let me tell you something. These people doing things right now and they say that we cannot do nothing to them. I am having a theory in my mind that Honorable Dika Mitchell will lose the next election as well. The NDC, not Honorable Dika Mitchell, the NDC will lose the next election. What these guys are doing is cementing their freedom and their wealth. Honorable Andy Williams.
They fool in their boots.
What I saw this morning, a picture No, they say a picture tells 1,000 words. Not so. There's a picture with Honorable Andy Williams. This man apparently is painting homes right now. Andy is doing things in health. He's doing things in CARICOM. He's doing things in education. He's everywhere. No problem. Go on, brother. Go on. Godspeed. But let us see what is happening right now. You are hearing of ministers whose salary doesn't or cannot equate to having 600,000 allegedly on their bank account when they came in and they say they was unemployed. Explain that to me, right? And then when you had people that is around them, supporting them, the cronies, the lackeys, and thereof, all these people, I keep saying it, we are in a dangerous democracy. We are being they're trying to stifle us. We can't talk. Programs are saying you're infringing on their right. All kind of thing. I mean, at which point do we stand up? And I don't want to hear we going back to what happened in 83 and 79. No. We had to go through it legally. But at this point, I will say this this present Prime Minister, and that's my opinion, and you can come at me, I don't care. This guy is very dangerous in my view. Very, very dangerous. And traveling, because I read this document that they put out, and they say he traveled with his team and his family. I want to know who is the official delegation from Grenada that is with Deacon Mitchell in Nigeria or wherever he is in the world right now. Because the foreign minister apparently is here, I think, maybe. Who is the official delegation for such a meeting that the IMA is involved in? Because the delegates I'm seeing there is not people basically that you will have. Your family is not the member for government. So explain to me. I don't know if I'm getting crazy or something is wrong with everybody else in Grenada. Tell me, Massacre, am I crazy? Am I crazy, Massacre?
You're reject yet, Antonito. You're reject yet.
No, because I'm asking if I'm the only person. And lastly, before I leave, I want to make it very clear. There are certain people that the NEC bring in. Nothing wrong with that. Governments change and party will bring in their lackeys. Nothing wrong with that. It happens every 5 years. It's a cycle. Let me tell you all NEC supporters. You're on contract. It's a 5-year contract. Nothing wrong with that. You will lose a job maybe. But to Mr. Robinson, the guy that in the post office, can you please tell us who owns the post office? Please tell us. Have a good afternoon, gentlemen.
All right, my friend. I want Honorable Gregory Bowen to fire him.
Yes, he good.
Oh, boy.
Are there any calls there still?
What a life that we going through in Grenada.
What is your expectations for the next budget, Devon?
More money.
Right.
More money.
Dim, in the sense of, because it is right now the government is trapped for finance. Right? They boasting and talking about they have money and they think, but they are strapped. So, the next budget, definitely what you will find is a number of taxes, right, being leveled on the Grenadian people, from property tax to personal income tax. Right? You definitely will see that. You will see again, in my view, the whole question of the CBI playing a great role in the direction. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Hi, how are you doing?
There's anything as Squandamina in Grenada still? In the days of Gary had Squandamina. Is that still raining? Because I've seen double Squandamania going on in this country right now.
They call it plundering the resources of the country.
That's how they call it now?
Yeah.
So what intention, what could happen to that now? The same marching and things can take place for that?
It could.
When they bring down Jerry by Squandamania, we can do that?
Yeah, we could. We have to be organized to do something like that.
Yeah, the boots are to take the ground. I don't understand we taking too long with this man and just killing the country and people balling. I mean, come on, man. People suffering. I could remember when Dr. Watts asked Keith, he said, how are you going to make it with the poor people? Dr. Mitchell cried. I could remember that time, and then we only had flooring. We didn't have pillow and thing below there. Dr. Mitchell used to sleep on a chair with the phone, meeting after meeting, 4 o'clock in the morning there in the house, fighting. And when Dr. Watts asked him that, he said, that's why I come back to take the poor people off of the ground, to help the poor people. I could never forget that. I'm on him. Dr. Mitchell, I don't have to believe he could leave that sleeping room when NP was leaving the ground. When 4 o'clock in the morning, we were in the kitchen making breakfast and all kind of thing for them men with meeting. And today, the people just come and they just walk in and do what they want. I don't know. I can't take that stupidness. To be honest, I struggle too much on it. I can't take them kind of thing. It's time for the boots to hit the ground. Have a good evening, gentlemen.
All right, my friend.
Devon, and the information is not only teachers that are getting paid. You see, police was in acting position, not getting paid. And you see some nurses having problem for the pay too.
Yeah.
What? You like to take it?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to the Grenadian people, home and abroad. Good afternoon to Master Carl Devon. Yes, how everybody do?
Wago, we good,
All of day I just lie down listening. You hear all this man, that last scholar talk there. You see, we as a people in this country is just a hypocrite. We hypocrite, Master Carl. They're suffering and they get an other radio station and say everything is nice and everything is good. This brother that's just me, he barely like me. He still is mine. Because for me, long time I would have taken the street. You understand? Grenadians they're too hypocrite. But then they want to come in a little corner and I don't want you come and tell me nothing. All you must call the radio or pick a placard and protest one man protest. I see they used to do that under the NNP time. When anything happens, they by the terminal, by the railing and Melville Street, they are in canteen, they all come out and speak out of what's going on and people suffering. A lot of y'all is suffering and all you don't say nothing. Then are you call Shaggy and all you saying, hey, are you hypocrite? Even them one family, when he speak the other day, last week, they call and tell him how he wicked and they bad mind. Because these people know the family or the children have a good job with this government and they eating a good food. Them don't care about other people that are eating and cannot pay the water bill. A lot of Grenadians cannot pay the water bill right now. They cannot pay the water bill. They cannot buy a pound of fish. I ain't coming on no radio and say that because I want no fame. Nobody will pay me to say that. I seen that every day. Every day I have to feed somebody. Every day. When I buy a breakfast, I have to give somebody on the terminal because they're hungry and people speaking and people crying out. And all you sit back, all you saying nothing, all you afraid Dick Mitchell because all you have a walk with him. If you love your country and you have a walk with the government of the day and you see your family and your neighbors suffering, speak out, oh my God. All you don't believe in God, all you believe in a man. So whatever Dick and his gang do, it's good for y'all, but I am not shutting my mouth. And all you ungrateful. A lot of you are very ungrateful. When all you see Dr. Mitchell, are you running and shake his hand? Eh? And he help all you. That man, they call Thaddeus Mitchell, gone up now away from here for him already. He don't see no trouble in Grenada, you know. Because although he's not in the rain right now, he helping people. He helping Grenadians. A lot of Grenadians who call this morning and say, yes, all you see none of you ministers that are you vote and put there doing nothing for you. A bunch of hypocrites. So sometimes when I say, I don't sorry for you, you have who there in America and England calling. I don't see them NMP people and them. I don't like to hear them. I don't care. Because all you're not living here. All you're not living here. All you're not on the ground. All you could go in a pantry and get food. All you could go to one of the in America and ask for help and they will pay your rent. Yeah, people can't pay their rent this morning. And yeah, people can't eat. They're hungry. They can't pay the bill. They can't go to school. And man, the government of Grenada, big Michelle government, paying for a man. All that money and children hungry. Children can't go home. I just have to pay a child, pay for children to go to school and an evening to go home. I just have to pay for them. I just have to pay for them, put them on a bus, pay the bus, see they go home. I can't make TV that start. I don't like to come on the radio and talk because I get upset. Because a lot of you is very hypocrite. A lot of you go to church today and all you go and speak in tongues. Whatever religion all you jump up by Pastor King, all you jump up by Stanford this morning and say all kind of things. But all you not nice, all you too hypocrite. That's why some of my brothers not sorry. Mr. David, good afternoon, sir, wherever he is. And to Mr. Boeing, good afternoon. And Miss Yolan Bain. There's a lot of good people that do a lot of good things for us in this country. And we just acknowledge them. When they're dead, all you want to go and read all kind of things and see how good they is. And letting them get the flowers now. Dr. Mitchell, Mr. Peter David, Miss Yolan Bain Hartford, Miss, the one in Victoria, Miss Pierre, Mr. Boyne, it was the same man. All these people, right now, they're not in office and they're helping the Grenadian people. I know that. And some of you are so hypocrite. People in CARICOM suffering. They're suffering. A man, that man, bad man just come in Calabash and kayak in trouble. And I don't say nothing. I took bad mind. Have a good day, Grenada. And I don't care who want to talk and call and say what they have to say. All you took bad mind. It's ungrateful. Dr. Mitchell, good. I don't need running out your mouth still. And I used to in trouble. Peter and all of them, they're good. The NDC have a thing going on. And saying the NNP have, they separate. Stay and mind with business. Or you'll get a blow. Papa God go deal with all that. You'll get a bad blow.
Yes,
Papa God, that God we serve, that have us alive today, going to deal with all you. Not no behind you. They don't going nowhere and get no pushback. They don't going nowhere. That God is going to deliver us from the hands of the evil forces in this country. Just time. Everything all right. Everything good. You don't see what? Anytime NSP have a meeting, all are you frightened? All you have what kind of thing to say? Are you afraid? Are you afraid? Have a good day.
All right, Sister Kami.
Bye-bye.
Bless.
Devon.
Yes.
What is your take on the privatization of the hospital?
Whoa.
Because some people say there was some consultation held last week with senior health personnel.
Yeah, trouble. I hear talk with Sinai Hospital out in New York. That spells trouble for us as a people, right? Because what you'll find is that the amount, the good health services that would be available will not be available for the poor and vulnerable. Okay, because you have to have money when you talk about privatizing, because the government would not be in a position to subsidize. They ain't doing it now. They ain't taking care of the health system right now, much less to help people after it's been privatized. So it's not, in my view, it will not be a good move, right, in privatizing the health service, the health system in our country, right? We are a small country, a small community that is not developed enough, understand, to sustain that. And so, I mean, come on, we still depend on so many things, right? I mean, for as a country to go on and privatize our health services, yes, you may get, I mean, better professionals coming in and providing health service, but the cost would not be for me and you, Master Carl. Let's take the call.
Good afternoon, caller.
Gentlemen.
Good afternoon.
I've been calling a long time and asking
for the names of the people that work in integrity in public life. We have to take these people serious. Because you come in as a minister with nothing. You didn't have a job. And how you have 600,000 in your account. That is the job of the integrity in public life. And if they cannot give us answers, we need to storm them. We need to get them. I don't care how hard you feel. We have to get them. They have to give us some answers. And they're just talking about the hospital. I don't know. Probably 2025 is not on the calendar. Because they're going to start the hospital in 2026. They're going to start with agriculture in 2026. What happened to 2025? In 2025?
Perhaps the election year. You never know.
2027 is election year. So
they have the option to call it when they want, anytime now.
They have option, but they ain't calling nothing,
Well,
listen,
the money too sweet.
They'll give up the $24,000.
The money.
Nothing.
The money too nice. Watch, imagine you're getting almost $25,000 every month to play with. Most of it is tax free. You feel you're giving up that now?
No, I know they're not giving it up. That's why I'm calling an integrity in life.
Oh boy, Grenada in trouble.
They're in trouble. We have to take them out of trouble.
Yeah, we in trouble. As long as we...
a very easy way to take them out of trouble. Very easy.
Yeah, we had to vote them out.
Of course.
Yeah, we had to vote them out.
All right, have a good one.
All right, my friend. Enjoy.
Monday, 14th October afternoon, arrival and meet and greet. Tuesday, the 15th, gap assessment, briefing huddle, toes meeting debrief. Wednesday, assessment. Thursday, team huddle and debrief. They say 9 or true still. Well, we take the call.
Good afternoon, welcome.
Yeah, bro, what's going on with all you?
Well, we good.
I realize that.
Spreading
but what
the
can we
word.
just say the issue, Watch, I just deal with people every day and I hear people bawl. The first time I hear people cry, I mean, you have people going to school. You have children going to school. They can't even pay boss. You know how much people that help? When I go in town, sometimes everybody begging me for $2, begging me for $20. I never see that in years,
Yes.
That is what I ever see. The children going to school. I heard you spoke about the children going to school with the school feeding program. Watch, a lot of children don't get any meals in school these last days.
No.
That government is the most mischievous government I ever come across. Trust me. Because Mitchell have to go. Tiani gang have to go. They must go. They're wasting time in this country, man. Too much of people seeing trouble in Grenada, and they don't see that, and they're laughing until everything is done, is rosy and dandy in this
They're
country.
drinking rum from the calabash.
How can I think these guys and I'm doing it now, but
Watch,
never...
any government that decides to starve its children is a government that is most ruthless.
And that they're ruthless bad. They're ruthless bad. I seen an allegation where something come up that they're privatizing the hospital. I see come an allegation. I said, I don't know.
Well, there's word thing floating about that they have discussions concerning that. We just have to wait and see.
Watch, but if they do that, they're gonna kill Grenadians, If they do that, they'll acquire them better buy more casino and things. Because just dead Grenadians go there, on which they die in the hospital like fish.
What we as Grenadian people need to do is to be conscious of our health and so our eating habits, because these guys didn't care about us. Right? So we have to make sure that we eat properly, although it will be difficult to eat as properly as we want because of the high cost of living. But we have to try our best.
Of course.
We have to try our best.
But let us try to help to get rid of these people, man. Spread the word heavy like we get, but I do it. Because I want to get rid of this government.
You get your pension money every month?
What? I won't deny that fact. I'm getting it.
Okay.
But I mean to say, I know you have a lot of people who are getting it.
Yeah.
A lot. Because one with me the other day, and he asked me, He say, you getting your money? I say, yes, I get my money. He say, well, I don't get since I anything, I don't get mine. And you know what? Something that I can understand Grenadians about? Because Deacon Mitchell come into power, and he made the money and he pay the pension. He pays somebody, he assists in paying somebody pension. They saying that Kit Mitchell would not pay the pension. That's not true. Kit Mitchell was paying pension before. Kit Mitchell paid a lot of pension
Well,
before.
2,200 people was receiving pension, so.
But I don't know where they're getting this nonsense. I don't know where they're getting this nonsense. Kit Mitchell was paying pension. The ANP government was paying pension before. So I don't know where they're getting this nonsense. They better stop that shit. Stop that stupidness. And go and look and educate themselves about that. Educate themselves. I didn't only take care, man.
All right, my brother. You know, the different PTAs around the country in the different schools. Let's take the call. I'll continue after. Good morning. Good afternoon, sorry.
Good afternoon, man.
Good afternoon.
Master Carl.
You are one.
I did see in trouble.
Well, your eye
My
good?
eyes good, so I see it.
Yeah.
Yes, I have a very good eyes and a very good vision.
All right.
So I can see what is okay and what is not okay.
All right.
Devon, let me tell you one good thing I want to say again is that despite how people feel about my statement that I made, how much people take it the wrong way, that's all right. I share my opinion, and that's okay.
That's your right.
That's my right. I am saying, Devon, what we wouldn't see happening in our country again is another revolution. We wouldn't see another revolution happening in Grenada again.
Perhaps an
The
armed
prerequisite
revolution.
is not there. Eh?
An armed revolution, we may not see that again.
No. Well, that is what I'm speaking about, the armed revolution. Or overthrowing a government easily in that capacity. You wouldn't see that happening in Grenada. And I am saying, let the democratic system takes place. Equal rights and justice. Equal rights must be equal for all man and woman in our country. And when I was in Cuba, the health system was free of cost. And I'm not saying we have the health system in Grenada free of cost. There are things that we ought to pay for, like in Cuba, some things you have to pay for, but the general medical treatment in Cuba, you don't have to pay for it. I went there and I witnessed it firsthand. So I could attest to that. And we in a democratic country that we elect people by the ballot and we reject people by the ballot. And if one had to understand the way the process takes place in Grenada, every individual has a right to decide for himself what is good for him and what is not good for him, what he wants and what he cannot get. And the only person that can decide what you cannot get in life is God. I believe that. So I'm just saying to say that we in a democratic process, let it flow freely and for everyone. And that's my contribution this morning. If sickness comes and we have to paddle, make money up to help an individual or individuals, let's do so willingly. Because if you're going to privatize a general medical institution, sometimes later on, it might be more detrimental, more costly. And it might cause a lot of people more heartbreak than anything else. Thank you very much, gentlemen. Have a blessed day.
All right, my friend.
They say peace could only be achieved, Devon, when you have equal rights and justice.
Well, I know you must have equal rights and justice, as you say, and there will never be no peace. But the whole question of democracy, it's our right and democratic right to do a lot of things in this country. But sometimes a lot of us, and a majority of us, right, seem to forget that one of the fundamental rights we have as human beings is to protest, right, and to protest in all forms, right? We already established that when it comes to violence in protest, it doesn't make sense because you will be met with violence. However, when your countrymen and women are being targeted by a particular group within your country who has power and who decide to use state power to victimize people and to do as they feel, then the question of protest becomes imminent. And we must not be afraid to stand up and protest against the ills, the victimization that is going on in our country. No, we must not be afraid. We must be man and woman enough to face it. We must show our children that we, as elders, as their parents, is willing to stand up and fight for their future. Make no mistake about that. Our democracy provides for that. My biggest hero is my mother. Because at a tender age, I watched my mother stand up together with hundreds, thousands of other Grenadians in 1974, protesting against the wrong and the ills in our country. These are the examples that our people must understand that is necessary. We need to stand up forcefully and make a statement to this group of politicians that they are a bunch of losers. They are victimizers. They are the poor people terrorists who come, as Mr. Pierre always say, who send them to come and terrorize the Grenadian people from the health services they provide, from the social services, infrastructure development, education. Everything in the last 2 years is on a down. And we just sit here as a people, sitting down and take it. We don't have to wait on the trade unions, the teachers, or the public workers to stand up and protest for us. No, as a people, it is our right to protest the ills in our country. We need to start thinking of that very seriously. Master Carl?
What is your view? Because we're coming up to the 19th, they say National Heroes Day. And based on what is said from the grapevine, heroes will be named. That is it. What's your take on that?
Well, first of all, Master Carl, I should say I may be a part of the whole ceremony on the 19th. Hopefully, if they want me to, right? In terms of naming our heroes or fallen persons on the October 19th. But my overall view is on this whole question of.
So before you go, say something. So the Heroes Day on October 19th is only to do with heroes about October?
Well, I'm not too clear how.
Or heroes as in heroes.
Well, I guess they're trying to launch what you call a platform, right, to commemorate heroes of our country, and they're using October 19th, right, the tragedy on October 19th to basically start pushing that. That's just my view of it, right? Because the government has not yet named, even a committee has not yet been put in place to select all the criterias.
And why is it being believed that heroes will be named?
Well,
so the committee will take 3 days to do that?
I can't see how that is happening, how that will happen. You understand? Because even the whole question of the public holiday on the 19th of October, up to this day, that has not been gazetted. You see? So there are so many things that are wrong in trying to put a right or to make a right, you start off on the wrong foot, in my view. And this whole trying to use October 19th to pilot this whole question of heroes, and so should never be. You should never use October 19th to pilot something or to put hero. This is a day that we need to respect as Grenadians, right? When countless, a lot of Grenadians fell on that day by the guns, to other injuries, and so, right? And we need to pay particular attention to these things, right? This is not a day when some zealous politicians want to achieve their political goals and so on, and trying to use October 19th, you understand, to do that. That is unacceptable. We must take a more sober, right, a more sober course when it comes.
Sober, less emotional.
Exactly, because so many questions to be answered when it comes to October 19th.
Let's take the call. We lose it?
Yeah, it's not a day for us to play with. And I would not be part or encourage people to basically do things that, will be continue to be hurtful to the Grenadian people. Too much, persons died on that day.
There's another issue I wish we should speak to, and that one involves the New National Party, which is on its 40th year.
Yeah.
And with the New National Party been in governance several times, they've been in opposition several times. There are persons who always don't want to see the New National Party in power. Let's take the call, we'll get to it after.
Good afternoon. Welcome.
Hi, good afternoon, Devon.
Good afternoon, my friend.
And good afternoon, Master Carl.
Hey.
Master Carl, something that is bothering me is that I understand that the private, the hospital will be becoming a statutory body and, what we call that, semi-privatized, like. And I'm not hearing about the mental home. Is the mental home being separated from the hospital, the general hospital?
I think they are separated based on portfolios.
So I'm not hearing anything about because I know generally they're linked together because the nurses that works in the general hospital are transferred to the mental home and such as, and so...
But that is a salient question.
Because this government has made it basically two entities, right? They have two ministers, PSs, everything for something that should just fall under one umbrella.
So they would be leaving the mental home in the hands.
No, we could do some investigating.
Yeah, and see.
And something else that bothers me, the houses. We talk about the houses, and the government use the Chinese houses. They sell them to. It is alleged that they sell them to people in the diaspora. A lot of people in the diaspora buy them.
Maybe Nigerians want to buy too.
And these things bother me because the young man in Grenada who is aspiring, a man who just want to get married, a little fella in church, he want to get married, settle down, buy a little home, or he not working for big money, but he want to turn his life around. These people in the diaspora are being given that opportunity to buy these houses. They can buy a house up there for 25,000 US. They cannot buy a house up there for 30,000 US. But they could buy it down here for 25 and 30,000 US. Most of them people, for what I've understand from my friend up there, they don't want the house really to come back and live. They want to do business with the house. They want to rent it. And they want to use it for vocational homes. When they come back, they could come and... No, this is disrespectful to the vulnerable man in this country who trying to change his life around.
Who cares?
This is really disrespectful.
Who cares?
This is oppressive to the vulnerable person who is trying to change his or her life around and his family life around. Who might be able to pay a monthly rent of $300-400 a month until he owns this house, than somebody who is in the diaspora, who out there maybe for 20 years, 25 years, and these people could just pick up at $25,000 and buy it cash. When the house wasn't built exactly for that purpose, it was built really and given for to give to the vulnerable, the people who cannot just go and build a house just so, but who will try. And this effort for the struggling man is being stifled. And I can't understand how this government could talk about, love the Grenadian people. You taking the affordables and put them in front of the vulnerables. And this is so wrong. Instead, we try to encourage the people who is home, who is vulnerable home, who is what we would say, I don't want to call them poor, but I'm at a stage where they're just trying to make it, and try to uplift them by giving them a home, getting a home for them. You take it and you sell it for the people in the diaspora who could afford. You didn't spend a cent for these houses, not 1 cent, but you taking these houses and give it to these people in the diaspora because they could come up with the money cash. Look at the money business of this government, the money mentality. Look how they're gone to sell our passports in such a vulgar way, like if they're selling hot bread and butter, Kentucky. The way they go behind money, they don't care about what the future. They don't, and what they're doing there with this house is the Chinese house. It's something like they don't really don't care about the future of the ordinary man in Grenada. They don't care. Because these people, some of them just want the house of the to rent. Some of them just wanted to come back and loll off when they come back. It's not really a need for these people. It's not a need. And the people who need it here are being prevented because they make the criteria so hard for these people so that these people cannot achieve it. I am saying that the NDC is a monster and they are the poor people, what you call the poor people terrorists.
Yes.
That is a true word
Yes.
to describe these people.
Yes.
These people are poor people terrorists. Thank you, Master Car.
Yeah, Devon. Now, Devon, I was saying, so after 40 years, by now the NNP, although we are called? Right.
Good afternoon.
Hey, good afternoon, Devon. Master Kali. Yes, I have a question to ask. I am hearing that, teachers really came out that if teachers, today is the 13th, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if teachers don't get paid today, tomorrow the 14th, they're asking all teachers to stay home in stand off the teachers who have not get the salary. Now the question is, the teachers stay home, would the government pay them?
Yes,
because remember,
the government have to pay them. You have to ask that.
Right.
That question answered. You have to pay them.
Right, they have to pay them because if they don't pay them, we can remember something happened similar to that.
No man, don't ask answers and say nothing. They have to pay them.
They have to pay them.
You understand? So they have to. Now I was looking this morning at the Bob report. Right? I was looking at the Bob report this morning and with Senator Cox, and he gave a good account of himself. But I was also hello?
Yeah,
we're listening you.
Oh, okay, now get a distraction. Yes. I was also looking under the live and was taking part in the comments under the live. And to see how these people and them will go so low, stoop so low, and go so far. In one calling Senator Cox a dog. Put up a dog and say Senator Cox is a dog. And we had us to take act, and we had us to let that person have it. We didn't disrespect them.
Caller, I understand what you're saying. But don't come and promote these people and them on the radio station here. I understand the point you're making, but I don't want you to give nobody this kind of forward on the station here. Let me leave it for where it was. Say they call them derogatory names. Don't come and give these people them forward here.
Okay. And it was so disrespectful. And even me, I get attacked. But I didn't answer them in terms of the going to the disrespectful, names or the answer that I give are nowhere uneducated. But what I said, could you say that what I said is not true? The facts that I'm coming with, it is not true. Even one calling, even one said that he was a liar, and I had also answer that person again. Is what he's saying is not true? Is it not, is it a lie? Could you say what he lie about? And they cannot. You understand? So the only thing they could do is to just give personal attacks. And I will not support people for disrespecting people regardless of the political side they're on. These people need to stop this thing, but they wouldn't stop it, because you know why? Some of them they are so desperate, and some of them again they want to save the gracious offer which they getting under the NDC. Even one text and say, is Senator Cox living in Grenada? In CARICOM. I say, yes, he living in CARICOM. Not you I'm speaking to, I'm speaking to Senator Cox. Well, I say, well, Senator Cox cannot answer. I could answer you because he's on a program. So he cannot answer you. I could answer and say, yes, he's living in CARICOM. You understand? And because most of the people that do this thing, they're not living here.
Let me tell you something. Don't let people distract you from the real issues.
No, they're not. They're not. But I'm just saying that the kind of low blow these people will go to defend the gracious offer. The low blow they will send, the attacks they will send, but they cannot deter from getting the real.
My school children doesn't pelt on empty mango tree. You have to expect that.
I understand. You understand? So the issue what he's talking about is with the issue with CARICOM, the situation what CARICOM is facing. What CARICOM they're recovering? No, Together with all this amount of money they get, and I make a statement under the life. If it was under NNP, CARICOM is far advanced in terms of recovery. So the difference between NNP and NDC, who know importance about country, because I even bring up the issue about Ivan. We didn't have no insurance money. And look in space of 5 years, how Grenada develop, how Grenada rebuild, how Grenada bounce back better. You understand? So that's the difference between NNP and NDC. And it's time that we Grenadians see it for what it we are. We and this NNP have tested and tried. That's the third time NDC
spread the word, caller.
Grenadian people giving them a try. The third time, and look at how they have this country in a pit.
All right, caller.
Thank you very much, guys. Have a good evening and listen in your program.
My issue is simply this, Devon. We are allowing the Congress to distract us. Good afternoon, caller.
Hello. Hello.
Listen to the phone, son. We just allowing ourselves to be, and that is my key point. Now, Willie and all of them is anti-NNP. They appear as the stone crusher. They cause the National Democratic Congress to spend 2 terms in opposition. But you hear NNP people coming and tell you what Willie say. You understand what I'm saying, Devon? Mm-hmm. What Willie say ought to be nothing to us. We know Willie and them whole vibe is to keep NNP in opposition.
Destroy.
So when you hear people who say them is NNP coming and tell you Willie say that and Willie say that, I say why you have to listen Willie for what he have to say?
Don't listen them.
Willie and them just coming to destroy, kill, cramp and paralyze. The same thing, yes, you go under the life. When you take it here and bring it here, people who don't listen to the life, you bring it in the airs. Don't you think call it?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Dave, and good afternoon, Mr. Carl. Afternoon. Mr. Carl, I asked myself a question, What these NDC government, what they getting of, what they become a party, and what they form a party, what is the purpose? Is to help themselves or to help the better living condition of people going to CARICOM. And it is clear to see this group of politicians in this NDC administration, the main goal was never to help the poor people of Greater CARICOM was to help themselves. When you look at what you are seeing, teachers walk in. 5 months now they can get pay. The teachers and them catching the hair the CARICOM. And some of them they work and they can get pay. They can get pay. Children in condition in the school where they children have going to school in a condition is very bad and they're 10. Outside hot. When it fall they making a sit of mud. And have the Prime Minister traveling every day. Regular traveling more than Liga. Because no Liga have the flight, but he traveling and he don't care about the living condition of the student. The poor people in the country, the little children, infant children in kindergarten, in primary school and preschool. Look at where they have to go to school, right? Look at what they are going to look at the condition, and the prime minister out of the island. The prime minister only seeking for himself and himself and his family. He is seeking for the poor people. If you're seeking for the poor people, when you come in, you put structure in place to assist the poor people going to CARICOM to make their life better. But everything down housing under administration. Right now, any house that is built and was given to the people that deserve and the houses was built or built for, it will go for the poor people. They think they can get a friend. But I want to encourage and ask the poor people of the country, have hope. Keep finger crossed. NMP will be back to rescue you and make your life better. Masakal, have a blessing.
All right, my friend.
Yes, Stephen. Now, let me take the call. Good afternoon, caller.
Yeah. Devon.
Yes, my friend. Afternoon.
Devon.
Hey. Good afternoon.
Sorry for calling back, but I want to just add a little bit to that discussion you guys have there. Heroes don't have to be a dead person. A hero don't have to be a dead person.
No.
A hero is one that, for example, a gentleman who motor a boat around Grenada in less than a day, or a boat around, that's a hero. And I guess you heard about that gentleman too. A young man fresh from studies, come back to run for election in Grenada at a young age, 22, 23. He has to be down in the books as a hero too. So when we're talking about heroes, we have to include not only those that is dead. And there is a good Calypsonian say, well, you need to give them the flowers while they're alive. Let them know. So I am just saying that. And as you mentioned again, protests and victimization. Remember, victimization don't only come when a political organization in government or when an opposition play its role as an opposition. Victimization come in all sorts, all forms, and in all areas. You find them in small organizations, Hubbard's Huggins. You find them in postal. You find them in privatization. You find them in a number of different organizations. And I'm saying that to say, where you least expect to find victimization, that's where you find it. So we have to be very mindful of where we are. And if the word democracy or a democratic system is for and by and of the people, I'm quoting
Abe,
a gentleman that well known. He always used those words. And before he died, he used those words too. Then let it be the favorite of the people, by the people, for the people, and democracy would have its full meaning. The democratic process must have its toll on the people. It must be fair and with no malice, no sideline, no sidetracking. And the democratic system will prevail. We have an institution to build. Let us build it All hands on deck.
All right,
Gentlemen, thank you.
Before you go, caller.
Yeah.
The will of the people will never and can never be suppressed. Thank you, caller.
I agree.
Now, Devon, and I am saying this thing because too often we get distracted from what is the real thing. The real thing is to get rid of NDC. That is what should be uppermost in our thinking, Devon. And too often we just get distracted and don't understand what is the task. So you call in and say this and that. But the question is, what are you doing to enable NNP to get back in power? That should be the crux of the matter. Methods, or your methods might be different to my method, but it also have to align with what is the goal. And when you hear people talking about what Wheelie say and this one say, don't tell me that. If August tongue here to moan, I don't want to know about visa. Let me take the call. Hello?
Hey, good day.
Hey, you are go.
Yeah, everything blessed for the time.
Alright.
Just want to make a comment on the topic we're dealing with it.
Mm-hmm. Go right ahead.
Eh?
Yeah, go right ahead. Go right ahead.
Yeah, greetings to the panel. Like, big up yourself. This man in here, so they are them dealing with politics. But I just want you to know, all politicians is hypocrite and traitors. Some of them go come and they go appease the people, you know, because they want the people to keep supporting them. But it's time for the Grenadian people them to wake up and realize that politics ain't doing nothing for Grenada, because I ban and grow in Grenada, and if politics was doing anything for Grenada, Grenada would be a real paradise now, because Grenada is a little island that's not that hard to manage. And this man and them is intelligent, well-known university graduate people. All of them, all what they come in and do is just take money and put in their pocket and leave people poor. Like, the health system is a mess. The infrastructure is a mess. Agriculture is a mess. Everything is a mess. And the hurricane come and mess up everything more and put them under some pressure. But they're still putting money in their pocket and they ain't doing nothing with it for the people. China build houses in Grenada and they're selling houses for other people. What happened to Grenada? Like, since I was a little boy that happening, they always bypassing Grenadian and studying people who have money and making Grenadian feel like them is nothing. And Grenadians still just jumping up and run and vote for them when the election come. Like, Grenadians have to get wise and stop supporting that stupidness, because the election is just selection. And the man and them in the bigger countries who run in the politics, the democracy or hypocrisy or what it is, them that running it, the boy and them in Grenada and all the other little island and them, they have to give account to them. Like you're talking about the boy in England, they have to give account to, and the boy in America, they have to give account to. All of them have to give account to the boy and them who above them and give account for the money they're giving them to spend. So Grenadian people, wise up and stop support politics, because that'll really bring in the country nowhere. That ain't bringing the country nowhere. If people get together and unite, you could do better than that politician and them who just come in and deceive people on a regular basis. And like I say, all of them is hypocrite and traitors. It doesn't matter which party. All of them. Some of them, people gonna love them because they appease the people. But then check it out, man. The health system in Grenada, right? I come in Grenada and Trevor Twit, me and him swimming in Grand Anse. And the next day, Trevor Twit, we go in the hospital with a little complaint and he dead. So what's going on, you know? Come on, wake up, Aya. Wake up people in Grenada. Like they are them trying their best and dealing with party politics. That can't solve the problem. Politics can't solve the problem. It's unity and love that could solve the problem. Thank you very much. Have a nice day, everybody.
All right, my friend. Thanks for your contribution.
They want a hero is someone who puts others before themselves and never gives up. They can be an ordinary person, they don't must be dead. But the actions that make them true heroes. And at the same time, a lot of those persons go unnoticed or praised for doing hard work or being brave or achieving results. Now, to deal with this hero thing in its proper perspective here, Section 16 of the Grenada 2007 National Hero and Awards Act provide for establishing a commission be known as the Prestige Order of National Hero Commission. The function of the commission is to make such investigation as it thinks fit to determine persons living or dead upon whom may be conferred the Prestige Order of National Hero, and issue a report to the Prime Minister the result of the investigations. The legislation states that the National Hero title can be awarded to any person who was born in Grenada or who at the time of his or her death was a citizen of Grenada. That person must have given outstanding service to Grenada, where that service had altered the course of the history of Grenada, given service to Grenada which has been exemplified by visionary and pioneering leadership, extraordinary achievement and attainment of the highest excellence, and which has rebounded into the honor of Grenada, or through his or her heroic exploit of sacrifices contributed to the improvement of the economy and social conditions of Grenada. Now I'll ask you a question, Deva. Would you consider Bernard Court a hero? Based on what was just outlined there.
Let me hear you.
Well, I would not know.
Why?
In terms of a national hero. He's a hero in his own right. Right? But a national hero, I don't think that he
reached the criteria.
He reached that the criteria. Not because of his political stance during the revolution or anything like that. Right? He was a member of the New Jewel movement, a member of the revolutionary process.
He was the brain.
Right? He was one of the brain. One of the brain in the revolution. He was not the only brain. You understand? So no, I would not consider Bernard Court to be a national hero.
The next question, yes, you make your point. The next question is, why is Morris considered to be a hero and not Bernard?
They come from the same camp.
Well, I don't consider Morris Bishop to be a hero. I don't know who is considering him, but whoever is doing it is not a good move, in my view. All right, I don't think Morris Bishop met the threshold, of being a hero to the Grenadian people. Yes, he died. He led the process of the revolution. He was the leader of the revolution. All right, there were a number of things done during the revolution, but it was not him, as I said. Neither he or Bernard Court was the only brain of the revolution. It was a collective effort, right, of all what was going on. He being killed on the 19th of October does not make him a national hero, in my view. So I also disqualified him from being a national hero.
Persons out there who are listening, I want them to chime in on their view.
Yeah, call and show us your view on the.
But before we get there, Devon, I was walking through Grenville and I went to get some vegetables in the market. And the vendors tell me, glad you pass it. Hold on, Carl, let me just say this. They tell me two things they want me to mention. One, the toilet facilities in the market.
Oh God, months.
The toilet facilities in the market. And one vendor say, here is the vendor's market, but look at, what else call it? Advertisement or something up saying you cannot vend in the vendor's market.
In the vendor's mall. What stupidness is that?
So maybe somebody who in the know could call in and say why that sign up saying no vending in the vendor's market.
In the vendor's mall.
Let's take it.
Good afternoon, teachers.
Yeah.
Good afternoon, sir.
Students here, how you all doing?
Yeah, man, we good.
Yes, man, we are getting ready to go up to Grenville.
Yeah.
But I was just listening to Mr. Speaker a while ago. I respect everybody's views. But he made a statement saying that Grenadians forgot his politics.
That's his view.
That's his view. But hear me. But this is an institute. That is what is instituted in the state through the entire world. Politics will always have his play. He will have his say. Because remember, that come from here, you know. That is instituted from here. Instituted from England. You understand? From England.
But not only from England, the good book of scriptures recognize governments.
That's correct.
And he say, render what is Caesar.
That's correct. And give unto God what is
unto
God.
Caesar, as long as he don't transgress
That's
what
correct.
is his.
That's what I'm
What's
saying.
everybody entitled to opinion, but
that's correct.
But
and I respect
the
that.
maker of man, the ancient of days, already recognized. So you see, watch. You have to pray for government. You have to respect them.
You have to respect them.
But
Tell you that.
if he contravene with my statutes,
That's correct.
go worry them.
Dumb them.
Yeah. So
you recognize that wrong?
I respect his views, but then you have to understand this is also from the maker.
And he must be, maybe his experience might cause him to make that. So we cannot just say thing. We have to respect what he says.
Because I never know what
we don't must agree, but we have to respect it.
That's true. That's true. But that is what the word of God is. We don't always have to agree on everything. But sometimes I respect one another's opinion as well. So guys, we're getting ready to go to Grenville. Right now we need about 2 buses. One bus enough here.
St. Mary's RC in Lafayette.
Yes, we need about 2 buses because among the people want to go up there. And I call Dr. Michelle Awalaga and see what you have in space up there to put the blood. Among the blood go in. Understand? We need another buses.
Lafayette, here we come.
Because we are about to take back the country. We intend to take back the country. Too much as stupid.
Because at this stage, and all that is going on in the country, the only thing the NNP have to be mindful of how and what we're doing to return the NNP into power. So all these little skirmishes and so on, and letting people outside come and try to bring friction.
Too much TV.
It's Papi show.
TV thing.
It's time we stop that. And when they come with that, tell them we don't want to hear.
Yeah. And I will start to cut off people who come with that.
No, Gates. You can't get an idea. We live in a democracy.
You hear again?
No, we live in a democracy. You don't have to agree. But you have to respect. You have to respect people's view.
You know what my grandmother...
Let me take the call.
Back, you cut me off?
No,
we say no.
I just hear pop and the phone go up. But okay, I'll have a good day.
All right, my friend.
10 bus we want coming there, so call the pass and tell him 10 bus.
Devon, I'm going up in your area up there. Make sure I see you up there.
Yeah. Must see me.
Right?
Can come home and thing.
Yeah, because we're going up there. We're getting a truck. I think we're getting a truck. We're getting a truck and 2 bus.
St. Mary's RC, here we come. Lafayette in St. Andrews.
And today's a wonderful day up there. Guys, call up there and tell me up there. No rain up there. Try us.
All right, my friend.
We're getting ready to go. So the guys continue doing all the good job. Keep up the good work. Keep up the pressure. Because they need that pressure right now. And I understand, just before I go, I understand the teachers will take in some form of action. Some action tomorrow, something like that.
Good for them. Whether it's true, I don't have all the information, but if they do...
I don't have all the information, though. I just saying what I heard.
Yeah, good
for
them.
I don't know. I don't want to say what I don't know. Because the Bible tell you, quick to hear, but slow to speak.
That's it.
All right.
And that's me.
All right,
have a good day, bro.
Yeah, you too. Yeah, it's it is so much excited. Yeah, to all the NMP supporters, in particular in St. Andrews,
Outside.
Don't forget, 6:30 in St. Andrews, St. Mary's RC School. That's Lafayette.
Outside.
School right there. We outside like wet clothes,
Yeah,
you know.
man. Scoops.
In we green and white.
Yeah, man.
You understand? We coming out there to support all the speakers.
Outside.
You have the parliamentary representative for St. Andrews Southeast, Honorable Emily Pierre. Parliamentary representative for St. Andrews Northeast, Honorable Kate Skeeter Lewis Peters. Right? You have the lead for St. Andrews Southwest, Honorable Yolan Bain Horsford. Right? You also have the lead for St. Andrews Northwest. That's Miss Waldron. And you have the political leader, right, who will give the feature address. And not forgetting youthfulness, Miss Amanda Japal, right, who has continued to energize our young people, right, in the direction of the new national party. And so let's come out there this afternoon, right? Let's gather in our numbers from all sides of our country, come out and get the message from the new national party, the team that is prepared and ready to take back governance.
My partner Big J does say, I want to fall. Me, I want to fall. I want to stand up for my rights. Everything appears so easy for the new PM in the city. I say this man is a magician with his golden pen in his hand. See me waiting for miracles, but all I get in is basket and brambles. With lawyer tactics so he could deceive, cause we so gullible and so naive. By the stroke of a pen, massive increase in salaries. They were broke, so no more money worry. By the stroke of a pen, a whole family on the breadline. A special need child, he was only 9. By the stroke of a pen, embezzlement in lotto, you save a man to make lotto. By the stroke of a pen, the boss flies in helicopter to see kayaks wet in rainwater. The pen never drink, the pen never smoke, but somehow that pen catch a stroke. This man can be serious, like he out to papi show us. Running our country is no game. It's not about likes and fame. You promise sun, wind and rain. What on earth you won't promise again? In the same breath you're changing your mind. No paper to be signed. By the stroke of a pen, free money in GDP, but you must be in certain category. By the stroke of a pen, Chinese houses were snatched away. 70,000 they cannot pay. By the stroke of a pen, planting only black pepper, forget coconut, meg and banana. By the stroke of a pen, make me an ambassador to Dubai, China or Russia. What happened to the damn pen? I don't know. Maybe the ink just stopped flowing.
Yeah, we back. We back. Good afternoon and welcome. Yes, so we back. We ain't going nowhere. You mad? We have too much information to share to the people. And you know, I want to reiterate to our teachers. And so, yeah, you go ahead. Go ahead and strike if you have to strike for your money. Do it. Go ahead. It's your right. Strike if you have to strike to get your money. It's damn stupidness now. Nonsense. Good afternoon. Welcome. Hello? Good afternoon.
Hello, Devon.
Yes, my brother.
How are you, man?
I'm good.
I find your voice sounding heavy.
Well, I try.
My partner, tell my partner, say hello, man.
Yes.
Now, I hear you inviting everybody to the meeting. is in Lafayette, huh?
In Lafayette School.
Right. And I don't understand the guest speaker is, how they call it now? How they call it, lady? Delma Thomas, she is the guest speaker.
I like that joke. I like that joke you're making, though. And watch that is the best joke for the evening.
I have a lot of things to say, but I wouldn't say anything. I just wanted to know who was the guest speaker. That was she.
You catch me there?
Yeah, take care of them.
All right, my brother. That's a nice laugh. But the teachers, go ahead, strike. Imagine weeks, months you can't get your money. Strike if you have to. You understand? But I want to put out a warning to members of the Parent Teachers Association, to all the schools. Let's take the call. Good afternoon and welcome.
Devon are calling. I will not able to go.
Don't worry, I'll be there for you.
I will tune in and taking it on the television.
Most definitely.
So everybody be careful, and all NNPIs this afternoon that is there, you're there for your party, and they have to go, Devon.
Oh,
Devon,
yes, they have to go.
I am telling you, this is not no joke. I mean that, and I just ask for God.
Kami, they have to
I
go.
don't ask my, I just tell man that. And you know something? Nobody can come and distract me, Anytime they come with their old talk, I don't have to run them. I don't listen to nobody can know the distraction all day.
And they're good at that.
Yes. But I know that NDC have to go. I'm praying for that. I praying for that.
Sooner rather than later.
I'm praying for that. They have to go.
They have to go.
They have to go. And I know Deacon listening wherever he is. I know Andy listening, Claudette.
Let them listen. Let them
have
listen.
To go.
Let them listen.
All you have to go.
If they don't want to do better, they have to go.
God will juke all you out. It's just time.
All right, sis.
Good evening, everybody.
All right,
and I will be careful.
All right.
Be very careful.
We
Bye-bye.
will. All right. Yeah, members of the Parent Teachers Association in the different parishes, constituencies of our country. An advice to all of you, based on the dire situation right now in the different schools where our children cannot be fed on a lunchtime. I would love to see the Parent Teachers Association become active and assist the schools. Donate what, and we know it's hard, it's difficult. Donate whatever you can. Right? Whatever you can to the different schools and so to help them cushion the effect. We cannot allow our children to continue to starve in our schools because of the incompetence and negligence of this government. There is no excuse for not feeding our children in school. You promised them. You gave them the assurance. You gave the parents the assurance that school feeding in the schools will be free. And after 2 years now, you have the schools not providing food for the children. How do you want our children to be educated and to learn on a hungry belly? Nonsense. Chups, man. Chups. Good afternoon and welcome.
Hey, good afternoon, Devon and Master Kalani.
Yes, my friend. I had
to call back because it was, we messed up me that I forgot to call out all my supporters, all the NMPites, and all the members of the parliament right now. Dr. Mitchell, take a bow. Honorable Pierre, take a bow. Peter David, take a bow. Honorable Kit, Skeeter Lewis Peters, take a bow. You know what I'm saying? Everybody that's involved, the newly senators, Mr. Dwight Horsford, because here's what. And Dr., the lady, yeah. Here's what. We need to understand what's again at play here. Ms. Kami said it well. All of us cannot be in the same place at the same time supporting the meetings. And I'm begging you all folks, please scrutinize the list, the voters list, get the addendum, see what is going on, and let's be on the ground. And folks, don't mind the background noise. There's some people around here, rush up. Roman, anyway. Let us.
I hope you do have a calabash.
No, I ain't drinking the rope for no calabash. Let us do our political job. Let us do our work diligently and very serious, because right now, what I play here, the Minister of Foreign Affairs apparently is being very quiet. Why is the Minister of Foreign Affairs not in Nigeria? Any question? Any answer?
That's a good question.
Watch.
He's a
And
good person.
openly.
He's a good person, that why.
I'm asking again, who is the delegation that is with Honorable Deacon Mitchell, Prime Minister Deacon Mitchell, besides who we see in photos? Now, I won't go and attack children. That's not my business. But who is the official delegation? Mr. Deacon Mitchell. You know, and who, Mr. Acting Prime Minister, can tell us when is Deacon Mitchell come back to Grenada, if he's here already, if he's not. Because it is dangerous. You cannot have a leader of a country. Yeah. Hello?
Yeah,
we did.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. The connection going. You can have a leader of a country leaving and going at his own risk and being paid by a sponsor or a donor. Nothing wrong with that. But when you see a picture saying welcome PM, CARICOM leader, whatever, all due to him respectfully, and family. I don't see Donald Trump flying with his family as president, or Biden or Kamala Harris when they was president. You need to do this thing and tell us where you're going. You was missing Mr. Deacon Mitchell, PM Deacon Mitchell, Honorable Deacon Mitchell for 72 hours. You and the cronies. Why? Gentlemen, have a good afternoon. Be safe. We listening.
All right, my friend.
You have a set up crew what clean up people lands and thing.
Mm-hmm.
They made them say to ask the authorities, please, that they need to be paid.
Yeah.
They tell me make sure, because they say they were promised to be Friday, they will get Saturday, they were promising. They say Sunday, they were promising, and the money is not forthcoming.
Yeah, well, here, one of the
so
things,
they ask us to ask.
One of the things to add to that, I understand from two farmers that they're not giving them the money, they're giving them the money in segments, you know. In other words, the farmers who are supposed to get the 4,500 or the 9,000 if you have more than 5 acres, they're giving them in trenches.
Because information was that they call financial institution and asking questions.
Mm-hmm.
All the people so they might say they're giving them drip.
Yeah. Cash flow.
So the people that want their money, along with the nurses, the police, the teachers,
and the cooks.
And what is strange? Devon, the police, the teachers and the nurses are the public servants who were the hardest for NDC.
Yeah.
They go hard in.
Yeah, the union leaders said that. The union leaders said that if it wasn't for the teachers and the public workers and so who voted overwhelmingly, in his view, for the present government, they would not be in office. You know, and hey, we understand that, but look at the treatment that you going through at this point in time, right? You bashing all the public workers, the same workers that you move from where you take them and put them in key positions to do government work. The government is failing miserably, right? And then you turn around and you're blaming your same supporters who you put in key positions to do your work right. The workers always be the ones to pay the price, right? And you have some bullies out there, Facebook bullies and all of them who continue to harass Grenadians because they open their mouth and share their views. All you better think right, you know, and know who all you coming and talking all your foolishness for, right? We are a democratic country. We have a right to speak and to speak freely. And no one should come and tell you what to say and what not to say. To all you goons that are supporting NDC, those in the diaspora and those here, you understand, who decide to attack and go after supporters of NNP or even normal Grenadians who may have a view that is different to yours. All you better stop it and know who all you're coming after. Now they like to call people dotish and all kind of thing. All kind of funny names. But you know what? NMP, we back broad. We could take it. But when we start to give, I hope all you could take. You understand? With all your corrupt practices and everything like that. When you're here, we continue to provide evidence. We have receipt for what we talk about. Right? So you could continue to blah, blah, and blabber all over the place and talk about, we on the radio station, we only lying and everything. What are we lying about? We are presenting facts to the Grenadian people. Undisputed facts. We are providing unchallenged.
Irrebuttable facts.
Yes. Unchallenged. You can't challenge it.
Zealousness in supporting this. Some people in their zealousness in supporting this administration, respectfully, if something goes wrong, it has to be a public officer sabotaging. I mean, this is so unfortunate because we all know the vast majority of public officers voted for this current administration, hence the reason they're in power.
Correct.
So why is it all of a sudden when something goes wrong, it has nothing to do with the politician, it has nothing to do with the administration, but it has everything to do with the poor public officer. Yes, we are not saying that they are perfect. That's not what we are saying. But we just believe and we know that a lot of blame is being placed on the backs of public officers unnecessarily and falsely, as a matter of fact.
According to Grime.
Yeah, so you see, not me say, that's not my words. As a president of the Public Workers Union.
Apart from the verbal abuse, right, the daily accosting from various sources, whether it's John Public or an activist or activists or even maybe from a frustrated minister, you now have to deal with the fact that promises that were made to you are no way close to being realized, right? Or it seems as though they have been shelved. So it's a lot to deal with. And as the current president of this organization, I must speak on this. I must speak on this. It's very, very demoralizing. It's very unfortunate that all the promises that were made have not been materialized, and there seems to be no desire to really reverse that course and ensure that the social contract that was made to regularize the workers, improve the morale, increase personnel, and just boost the public service in general. It's just not happening.
Brother Grimes, respectfully so, I would want to ask you to share your views when it comes to the whole question of government ministers increasing their salary by over 100% within 2 years. I mean, I would really like to hear your view as the leader of the Public Workers Union. I would love to hear your view concerning that. If that is moral, immoral, corruption, greediness, I would love to hear your comments, bro. Right? And you are in the perfect place, right, to make me understand whether it was good or it was bad. So please, I would really love for you to share some light when it comes to that. And so because our workers are continuing to be bullied and yet they're not being paid.
You have a clip with the Prime Minister there, Igwe, when you talk about hungry mouth and thing. Yeah.
But he was driving at a point, which is, you have to serve the people. If you're hungry mouth, if you beggy, you could come and be parliamentarian. All kind of people gonna buy you.
Most definitely.
Because they know you're hungry mouth. So you see, Mr. Speaker, you're a doctor, you're a professional. That's the point. Because you and I are professionals, we can serve. And people can't buy us. We can serve with distinction.
So Devon, you hear why they get the money?
Yeah.
So Grimes got to answer that. They already answered by the man who give them the money. We play it again for people to hear about it by them.
What he was driving at a point, which is, you have to serve the people. If you're hungry mouth, if you beggy, you could come and be parliamentarian. All kind of people gonna buy you because they know you're hungry mouth. So you see, Mr. Speaker, you're a doctor, you're a professional.
That's the point. Because you and I are professionals, we can serve.
Nobody can buy us.
And people can't buy us. We can serve with distinction.
You understand?
Yeah, nobody can buy us.
You could some.
You know, and in playing that clip, you bring me back to a particular clip. Perhaps next week I'll ask Gates to play it and we can dive into it. A statement made by the agriculture minister, who happens to be my MP, Mr. Andrews, when it comes to about we have more money and everything like that. But the particular part I want Gates to play is and so I will let him know, and next week we will dive into it.
You have 2 clips from him, please, and see if he's not one.
Yes, I'll tell
you.
We
have 2 clips with him?
We have 2 clips with Minister Andrews. Toes.
We meet a lot of money and then...
Yes.
And then you want to talk about
current account balance.
Right, that is the one, the current account balance and so. That's the one I want. And to those accountants and so and money-wise people, pay attention to Mr. Toes. And tell me if that's proper accounting practices. We're in trouble with this government.
This one here?
Go ahead.
It is true, Mr. Speaker, that when we came into office, we met plenty money.
Maybe
the next one.
Right?
Next one.
And the CES had plenty money.
The next one. No, the next one.
In fact, Mr. Speaker, I would even go further.
Yes.
From a pure economic point of view and a pure economic analysis point of view to indicate the performance of government. If I had my way, I will introduce a new performance indicator in addition to what is there in the bill. And that one is referred to as the current account balance. And the current account balance is the difference between your current revenues and your current expenditure. And your current revenues are your tax revenues and your non-tax revenues. Yeah? And I've already explained what is your current expenditure. When you subtract your current revenues from the current expenditure, you obtain your current account balance.
Stop it.
Mr. Speaker.
When you subtract your current
revenues,
I want to hear that last statement
again. Your current expenditure. When you subtract your current revenues from the current expenditure,
right. So, in other words, you subtract your current revenues from your current expenditure. Now, to those accountants, I would leave it there. But for those accountants, is that accounting practice correct? And that's the Minister of Economic Development, Agriculture, right? And a former acting PS or deputy PS. Somebody who is responsible, right, for the finances, part of the finances of our country, right?
And not only that, somebody who worked
there, right? Because, that could never be. I do a lot with accountants, so I have accountants as a subject and so, and that in itself doesn't sound right.
Well, I need to ask some questions as relates to that. What is the current state of revenue collection?
Yes, that we need to know.
What happens to the surplus money he just mentioned? What happened to the current account balance? Is it still positive and 5% of GDP? So if that is so, why are some public workers getting paid and getting paid late?
Yep.
And why are we not seeing capital projects? Play that clip again, let people hear.
In fact, Mr. Speaker, I would even go further. From a pure economic point of view and a pure economic analysis point of view to indicate the performance of government. If I had my way, I will introduce a new performance indicator in addition to what is there in the bill. And that one is referred to as the current account balance. And the current account balance is the difference between your current revenues and your current expenditure. And your current revenues are your tax revenues and your non-tax revenues. Yeah? And I've already explained what is your current expenditure. When you subtract your current revenues from the current expenditure, you obtain your current account balance. Mr. Speaker, that current account balance, from our numbers I would have recollected, has always been positive, and it as high as 5% of gross domestic product, which means that we have millions of dollars, which means that the government and our government has been able to collect enough revenue, tax and non-tax, to pay wages and salaries, to pay goods and services, to pay interest payments, and to pay transfer and subsidies, and still have
a lot of money.
A lot of money left. We call it a surplus. Yes. And that surplus could go directly, if you so desire, go directly into meeting your capital needs. Good? It could go directly into meeting your capital needs.
So here's the question, Devon. Finance Minister Dennis Cornwall has announced that the government anticipated that the escape clause of the Fiscal Resiliency Act will continue for 2025 because the government will still be recovering from the impact of Hurricane Beryl, which devastated the island on the 1st of July. To support the immediate recovery in the aftermath of Hurricane Beryl, we have taken the decision to temporarily suspend the public debt target and primary balance rules under the Fiscal Resiliency Act. We anticipate further a further suspension will be required for 2025. So if what this minister was saying is true, the current account balance high and positive, and 5% of GDP, why is the reason for that?
Well,
and knowing when you do that, the interest will be put on the principal. And it could put back the whole thing by $34 million. So how then is they making that mathematics?
We and toes on them because they're doing things upside down. I didn't know you could.
So they were asking, what happened to the current account balance?
Yeah.
Is it still positive? Someone has to answer that question.
Yeah, an accountant specialist. I have a little accountant thing, but I am not no accountant specialist. You understand? I could only identify certain, certain wrong statements and so that have been played. And as a matter of fact, that was identified to me by a man on the street who listened carefully to the minister, and identified that particular statement, right? And I mean, it was amazing, but again, they tend to look down on persons who they think can't, But time alone will tell. Our people, yes, and the ink, that ink in that pen dry up or the pen catch a stroke, I don't know. Right? So many promises that you promise and you can't fulfill. And when people talk about it, you tell about people lie and we unpatriotic and everything. All you put all your foot in all your mouth. All you put all your foot in all your mouth. When we try to tell or we try to assist you guys with information as to how to do it, all sort of things was said. We want power, we this, we that. Now, you're all on the back foot. Right on the back foot. But who are the ones suffering? The Grenadian people. And we will not sit here on these programs and allow you to continue to victimize a majority of the Grenadian people by your actions. We will continue to speak about it. We will continue to sensitize the Grenadian public of the truth, of the ills that you continue to do against them. And we will make you accountable when the time comes for these wrong that you continue to commit, right, against the nation. Look at the people of CARICOM and Petit Martinique. After 3 months, right, affected by Hurricane Beryl, what have this government done to make it easier for the people of CARICOM and Petit Martinique? Pleasant afternoon to all of you, CARICOM and Petit Martiniquans. right? And the Lord is always with you. Never give up. Don't give up, not even if the MP and his goons in CARICOM and PT Martinique trying to prevent you all from building back on your own. Continue to have faith. Yeah. And you have people behind you. Do what needs to be done, people of CARICOM and PT Martinique, because you realize you can't depend on this government. They only studying themselves and the people, but not a majority of the people in CARICOM and PT Martinique. The concerns, right? The burning issues that affect them. You, the people of CARICOM. That is why I continue to say that it's our democratic right. It is enshrined in us to get up and protest when we see things are going wrong. Don't just sit down and just take it and talk about it. We need to get up and protest to the powers that be and let them know that we the Ghanaian people must not be taken for granted. Never again. We have been through that in history. Do not test the resolve of the Ghanaian people. If it takes just me alone to go out there and help mobilize people to come out and demonstrate against you all for the worthlessness, the wickedness that you continue to do against our public workers, our teachers, our elderly, our youths, and our students. Trust me, I will do it.
Igwe, the job of the opposition is to scrutinize everything that government does. To criticize its measures and policies, to propose alternative to their own, and to draw attention to any inefficiency or maladministration in the conduct of national affairs. So they have to recognize that the role of the opposition is to keep them in check.
Always.
Now the question came up in a discussion, Devon, about loyalty and honesty as relates to politics and politicians. My thing is simply this. I will be honest to a politician, but no politician will get my loyalty. Only God I'm loyal to. So any politician hoping that Carl Keaton will be loyal to them, that won't happen. However, I'll be honest. I won't pappy show or be hypocrite. If I'm not with you, you're going to know. If I'm with you, you're going to know. But don't expect me or expect loyalty from me to mean anything you do, I will support you. That'll work.
Can't work.
That'll work with me. And who don't please about it, they're a matter for them. They got to deal with it. But Igwe, to be loyal to somebody is the inability to be honest with them. Because you go always have to tell them what you believe they want to hear. And you will not be doing a good service to them. You will be doing a disservice. So when I come here and I speak, because what's happening with the teachers presently now is this. The same stick, what it be the black dog, it started to be the white one now. So my duty or my thing to any politician is to be honest. To tell them as is. But don't expect me to be loyal when you're doing your stupidness for me to support you. I do supporting nobody in stupidness.
And defending you.
I don't defend in stupidness. I will advise you if I feel you're going wrong. Yeah. I will give you my honest opinion on issue, even if it means that you don't like it. But to say, to be honest, and letting you do stupidness and side you for doing stupidness, no. And the Congress expect people to be loyal. So when they do wrong things, you should not speak about it.
Just defend them.
When they do things, as the Prime Minister says, strange things, you should not find out who pay for the rallies and the big fair. I go try to find out who pay for the rallies and the big fair. So to my parliamentary representative who does jump up when we on the radio, I'll always be honest with you. Yeah. Huh?
Don't put your foot in your mouth.
No, I will always be honest with him, but man on earth not getting my loyalty. I don't vex about it, that's just how it is. Who don't please about it, that's how it is. Because you see, when you pledge loyalty to a man, he putting you in a position not to able to be honest with that person. Because anytime you honesty to a lot of people, Devon, is when you're talking about other people and other things, let's be honest. Anytime you come to them, they can't stand honesty.
No, they can't stand that.
Because they expect you to always, that's what I tell you, I would not be no flatterer and no praiser. I'll be honest. If you do good things, I'll say, bravo, well done. But when you do things while hurting the Grenadian public and hurting the population, whether good or bad, whether thing, I go say, watch, that is not what it is. So, you know, and we had that discussion, and I thought I would show it out there about honesty and loyalty as it relates to politicians. I don't give in politician my loyalty. Them is a man just like me. And I just make mistake, so they go make mistake too.
And as you're on that point, I want to continue to appeal to my NMP brothers and sisters. Right? Let's be honest with each other. Let's be candid. Let's continue to stay united as an organization. We have the ability, we have the know-how. We have persons who can lead. But one thing that we must not see, or must not see emerging, is a fight among ourselves for whatever reason. Yes, we will always have disagreements as to the way forward for our organization. We will continue. That will never end. But we must be able to sit down and work out the differences, right, in order for this party and our country to move forward. There must be no compromise whatsoever, right, in going through that process. We have to be dedicated towards the organization and to the country. And most of all, we have to be honest with ourselves in the decisions that we continue to make. Grenada depends on us as an organization, right? The facts are there. The history of this organization is there over the last 40 years, where it has brought Grenada as a country. Let us not forget. Let us be proud of that. And let us continue to do what needs to be done to get back into governance, to take Grenada further into the future. But we can only do that as a united, organized, and well-oiled machinery. Right?
Because I believe in the policies and the concept of the NNP to the point that I will vote NNP. Because I believe they understand the plight of the less fortunate and the downtrodden more better than the NDC.
Oh, far more better.
Now, as Ms. Pierce said recently in something, NDC need to mind a damn business. And NDC as a government cannot tell me to mind my business because they are the government and I'm entitled to question the government.
Yeah, that's your right.
That is the difference. So they need to mind a damn business and forget NNP. Yeah. Now, whatever is happening or not happening presently within the NNP is something the NNP will and should deal with. So when other persons trying to throw a monkey wrench in the plan, NNP have to be wise and ask the question, why are these people saying the things they're saying?
And coming after
you don't have to like a person, but if it's that how the NNP has to rescue the country, we all have to rally behind that person. Because our aim is to get back into the seat of governance. Let's take the call.
And read NDC. Good afternoon, welcome.
Good afternoon.
afternoon, gentlemen. How are you doing, sir?
Yes, my friend.
Good, good. I don't know how people look at things, right? But most of the small islands economy, right? Master Carl, you could just lead me along the same, and I'm wrong, correct me immediately, please. Our small island economy is in the hands of the middle and the lower sector people. Yeah? Now, if you do not work with this people, you're always up for trouble. Meaning trouble as in the economy falls, the government falls. Yeah? Yes. The position between the middle, the low income and the middle income earners and the rich, the politicians are mediators, if you want to say that, right? And the NNP has always maintained, in the sense that they know how to mediate properly between these different classes. But what we see now is different. Yeah? So there's always, as an NNP is not just a party. For me, I look at it as an institution. And many, many young politicians has come and rise to a higher level. You know? You could call many names. Yeah? But on the other side, we've not seen it happening. And they are level-headed, like my good friend Mr. Cox. Yeah, is a level-headed person. He knows how to approach the whole system. We're not seeing them, especially facing the media. Yeah? So these are the things which is lacking now in our nation. The imbalance. We don't have that balanced diet. What we look in between the different level of people. And we're only looking at one way. Yeah? And I mean, when you go out today, we're hearing all different cries of the people, which is saddening. Yeah? This is what I have to say today.
All right, my friend. Thanks you.
Because when you hear the cry of the people, Devon, you must know that politics is forward thinking. Our political system is who has more votes. So we need to add and multiply. So anytime somebody come around and indicating to us that we should subtract and divide, you have to know that is not good.
They can't seek they're not seeking our interests. And that's what they continue to do. Right? They continue to try to divide and to subtract from the base of our party. But that will never happen.
Some of us falling for it.
Yeah, a lot of us continue to we like jogging hands.
Weak-minded.
You understand? Continue to just take things and bring there to affect our organization.
Somebody say something, they got it.
Yeah, we must be mindful of that. These guys are no ordinary guys.
No, they're not.
They're not foolish. They're doing this thing intentionally.
Because I want to use or borrow a term from the revolution, Igwe.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever people come with this stupidness and then we have to use our revolutionary term, beat back destabilization.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Beat back destabilization.
We don't have to add destabilization, we have to beat back.
Yeah, defeat it.
Destabilization. Yeah. Because it's time we learn. Because when NNP lose election last time was real song and dance.
Mm-hmm.
And some of the people and what was the happies, now they want to give advice to how NNP should conduct the business.
That affecting me.
How that could make sense?
And some of us listening, that's stupidness.
And they take it when they take it, they want to come on that program and them here with you.
I was just sick of them, man.
We have to leave them.
When we come here, as we say, we're here to bring hope.
Yep.
To we people, we don't here to bring them down. We here to bring them up and keep them up. And energize the base. And attract persons who are not yet part of the base to come in. And even people on the other side who are hurting and grieving by the expectations not be met. Like who alone my policing from all Inspector Bell says Amras. He say pull them in. When they going out, let they go to that charge sheet and a bill form, pull them. When you see a junk man, don't push him out. So it's adding and multiplying to we base. Not people who come in and scatter and think, and we comfortable listening and going around and see that person say that about that person, and that person say that about. It's time we stop that.
Stupidness.
That is why I bring up the question about honesty, Devon, and loyalty. The NNP will always have my honesty. Always. I'll be honest and I'll do what is still. But not well, loyal is to give a man a free rein.
Yeah.
If you tell a man he loyal, you can never tell him what you're going wrong after that, you know it.
Right, true.
And that is what
Because he's
happened.
starting to say you're against him.
Yeah.
And that is what
The
happened.
moment time you say, boss,
He take a little thing.
you don't go in the right way. He's seeing that
Your loyalty
as
gone.
you turn and they using word like you go betray and stupidness. So that's why I differentiate my thing. I always honest.
Weak-minded.
But loyal only to the ancient of days. Only he who doesn't make mistake. All of us does make mistake, including me. All of us have a skeleton in the cupboard. So me and they don't appoint me no judge. I speak facts. I don't come and judge NDC and I speak facts and I present receipts for what I say. And it's time we at NMP have to realize we have one mission. One mission we have. Our goal is to get the NNP back into governance. So any other things matters not. As Black Stalin say, when that time come, we go jam Dorothy. All for now, we don't fighting to jam Dorothy.
No, it's not time for that.
Right, take the call.
2 minutes.
Good afternoon.
Final caller for this afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Before you guys left, Master Carl just said something about loyalty. Devon is sitting next to you, and Devon could tell you about loyalty in the revolution. Because when you ask certain questions, man asks you, whose side you on? And you start shaking your boots. Because remember, the man hand is on the trigger in the gun, you know. Just remember that. Just remember that. So we know what loyalty meant. That's why Master Carl is talking about loyalty. You shouldn't be loyal to no man than God. You understand? Not your children, not your wife, no one than God. Because you only do that, you put yourself in trouble. Have a good day, guys.
Blessings. All right, my friend. You know, as we continue along this week, I would like persons, Grenadians, to just be mindful of our history, right? And what October means to a lot of us, right? Those of us who have lost members of our families and so friends during the October month, especially on October 19th. So just be mindful as we go along October. One of the things happening in October we must be conscious about is what happened on October 19th. It's part of our history. We can't run away from it.
There was a question I have to ask you.
Yes, shoot.
You've been a part of the revolution. Why was not the revolution be fought for?
Why was not?
Why people didn't fight for the revolution? Why they surrender so easy?
Well, it depends on who you're talking about, because at the time of the invasion, the country was already split in about 3 or 4 different types. So the unity among the people and the soldiers who were supposed to defend the revolution for a cause was not there. The leader died. They were killed by his own soldiers. So who basically would come out to defend something that they consider was dying or already dead? You see, that's the question about loyalty to one, because a lot of us was loyal to Maurice Bishop and not to the cause of the revolution. Have a blessed evening.
Everything appears so easy for the new PM in the city. I say this man is a magician with his golden pen in his hand. See me waiting for miracles, but all I get in is basket and brambles. With lawyer tactics so he could deceive, cause we so gullible and so naive. By the stroke of a pen, massive increase in salaries. They were broke, so no more money worry. By the stroke of a pen, a whole family on the breadline. A special need child, he was only 9. By the stroke of a pen, embezzlement in lotto, you save a man to make lack. By the stroke of a pen, the boss flies in helicopter.